Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. We have the Shure MV88 Plus Stereo USB microphone. This is actually the review. So, if you want to know what this thing is actually like, I do encourage you to search my channel for the title, even as a search of NV88 or Shure NV88. You will come across all the videos that I've done all the testing with for this microphone between Mac OS and iOS. Okay, didn't bother with Windows because it wasn't even worth wasting my time to try. So, anyways, when it comes down to this microphone, I have a verdict, and that verdict stands and will not change at 3 out of 5. Okay. Now, I do think that the microphone is very cute. It's very small and compact, which is really nice. It's got nice portability to it. Comes with a lot in the package. You do get a USB-C to micro USB because the mic itself is a micro USB connection point, but the USB-C end of that cable is for a Type-C device. Okay. The other cable that comes with it is micro USB to Type-A so that you can go into your computer system. So no big deal, right? And I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem plugging into a Thunderbolt port or a Type-C port and using that cable on your computer. I didn't try it, so hey, and I don't really care to. It doesn't matter. The fact is, you get these cables, and they say if you want to hook up to an iPhone that has a Lightning port on it only, because the majority of them always have, up until recently. Apple finally switched to Type-C on phones, right? So anyway, you can do it any way you want. You will have to get a cable for that, and you'll have to probably order that through your local music store or right from Shure directly or find something on Amazon. Okay. Now, my findings are as follows. Okay, which is why I've rated this thing so low. On the computer side first, because that's where it does have some nicer benefits. It has plenty of gain to it, or volume. Now, I set the gain at, of course, 75%, also known as 3/4 of the way up. I gave it lots of gain. I tested this thing also against my Shure MV5 microphone, so I have a versus video between the two, and close-ups to distance. Now, I did find, though, at a distance on the computer, the MV88 Plus here actually did really, really well, okay, at a distance. But I don't want to buy an expensive mic that's only going to be good for one particular thing only. But I did find that the volume was plenty good. The clarity was even better than close-up, because close-up I found it a little bit more on the louder side. Okay, so even my Shure MV5, I should probably cut it back a little bit when I think about it, because their volume levels were set identical and they're both just as loud up front and close. At a distance, of course, I can still hear either one, but the amount of clarity that I get and the separation between my guitar and my vocals, this thing actually did win out over my MV5, in my opinion. I liked it better, okay? And what I'm looking for is something better for doing like room recording, right? Because when I do demo of gear for you guys, I don't process video, I don't do run compressor filters through or any of that garbage. I don't even EQ anything. I just put it in there, put it out, boom. This is what you can expect for the best that YouTube can reproduce audio, because they compress our crap all the time, right? So this is why I want to give you guys the best of, this is the reality of it as best as possible. So I'm not going to fool around with all kinds of controls and EQ this and EQ that and do all that when I'm testing gear for you guys, right? So I need a microphone that can do the best of both worlds realistically. I need something that's good for up close, whether I'm talking or playing and singing, or whether I'm back here. I need it to do both. And well, the price on this thing, that's the kicker. This is $242 Canadian on sale, regular $269. It's not worth it for only being able to handle one particular mode, okay? And that's being on a computer. The iPad, I just absolutely could not deal with how little gain there was, even at 75% gain. You should not have to drive a microphone that hard even into the iPad. Okay, and I have 5 studio mics built into my iPad Pro M2 system, and wow, I really like how it handles stuff at, certain ranges, but there are some ranges that are just a little too less, right? But this uses software too on iOS, and we did find a problem with the software that is their video program for doing video and audio. It kept saying it couldn't find the mic, yet it used the mic. The mic was there. It listed external. Unplug it. Yeah, it goes to internal. Plug it back in. Can't find mic. Plug it in. But yet you say okay, and it's still there, and it's working. It's functional. And even at 75% gain, it just wasn't enough. And I do not want to have to take the time when I'm editing my video to go and separate that audio track, pull it aside, jack it up, and I can only jack it so far, and then it's going to distort and sound like crap, right? So I don't want to have to deal with that sort of garbage, and nobody should have to, right? You should be able to figure out your levels and where your mic should be at after a few little trial runs. Have your gain set accordingly for what you're doing, and then you're just good to go, and you won't have that to worry about, okay? And you shouldn't even have to worry about it either, okay? So on the computer side of the fence, though, there is no software for this mic. It's whatever's built into your OS, Mac OS or Windows. And I found that on Mac OS, because that's all I tested with, I set the gain at 75%. It's a little on the loud side, of course, so is my MV5 when we're up close. But when I haul myself back here 8 feet, the clarity difference between the two, this one here definitely wins for the clarity. It has that nice clarity, nice separation. It's just and it's got plenty of gain still. I had no issues. But for one purpose only, no way. I can't justify this kind of cash, okay? There's got to be something else out there that can do the best of both worlds a lot better. Because I want to make some changes in my channel too come 2024. Not only do I want to get into a little bit more flashier video editing, I also want to increase audio production that much more, but without having to screw with stuff. I still want to give you guys always, this is how it is. Let's go grab the guitar off the wall. Let's crank up that amp or whatever we're going to do, play with pedals, whatever. And I want you guys to always have the truest possible sound for the room environment, because this is where you're going to be playing at home, is in your room. You want to know what things actually sound like or should sound like for the most part, because we're all going to have different acoustics, we're all going to have different sizes of rooms, but the idea is to give you what it has, right? Do the settings. This is what you can achieve with this gear, obviously, because we're all going to have different amps too, right? But I don't want to sit there and, start processing and EQing stuff and this and that, and, let's get rid of this because I can hear a little bit of, static or something. That static is there naturally. It needs to stay. You need to hear what is actually happening so that you know if what choice you're making is going to be the right choice for you, okay? But I want better equipment regardless, and I require better equipment to do that much better, and that's kind of what I'm striving for in 2024, is to be better, okay? And yeah, it's going to cost some money, but not this kind of money. Not for this, when it can only handle one little thing that is just, it's not worth spending this kind of money on for me. But for you, if you like it, man, like I said, check out the videos. Search my YouTube channel for the MV88 Plus, and check out the videos that we did and see what you think and develop your own opinion, because my opinion is my opinion, but there's no way in heck I'm going to buy this and spend this kind of money when, number one, it only works really well on a Mac, okay, on a Mac OS. It doesn't do well at all, as far as I'm concerned, on the iOS, and it does have that glitch thing that I have no idea what's going on there. But on the audio-only program, though, it sets up the mic perfectly fine. Why doesn't it do it on the other side? It's still an audio thing, right? So, I don't know, but it's just kind of where things sit right now. And where I'm sitting with this, for me, it's a no-go. There's no way. there are a few other options out there that Long McQuaid has. I'm going to take a look at even some cheaper options. Sometimes you can spend less and get more for your money. Kind of like the MV5, just so that you get a bit of an idea. The MV5 is a condenser mic, and it's a condenser studio mic, the one I have. They have different versions, okay? The one I have is their studio series. And it's supposed to work on iOS as well as Mac OS, as well as your Windows. Now, the last time I tried this thing, plugging it straight into an iPad, was my 7th gen. And whoo, that was scary, man. I was like, wow! Okay, this is like way too much input. So I have not tried it on my iPad 11 Pro M2. I'm actually going to give it a shot and see what it's like. But it's only $125, and I use this thing full time on my Mac. And you know, even though I do really well with talking it does a really good job of, you know, picking up the sound in here. It could be better, and that's the one thing I liked at the distance with this. It was actually better than my MV5. The clarity was just so much more nicer, and the EQing of it was so much better in that sense for distance only, though. So yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to all this, but $125 is a lot better investment than $250. You know, it's twice the money, right? So it's like, for only one thing. It's like, oh man, I just don't know. But that's my findings. That's my thoughts and feelings on it. Take it for what it's worth. Like I said, check my channel if you want to hear this thing in action. It is the Shure MV88+. Just search that on my channel. You'll come up with all the videos that are related to it, and you can make your decision from there. And feel free to make your comments too, what you thought on those videos of how it was working and what you thought of it. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and the videos on this one. We are now going to go on to something else. What? We don't know yet. We'll figure it out. So, see you later.